Well, next month, Samuel Adams is releasing a new limited edition beer. And y'all get this. It is so potent, it's illegal in 15 states, including right here in South Carolina. A lot of eyes will be on Capitol Hill today as Instagram's CEO is set to testify for the first time before Congress.
And right now, I'm trying to jump in and get an interview with him. As you can see, a lot of people are excited. They want to see him. They want to take pictures with him. And of course, you can understand it has been a historic win for Clemson. For Clemson, as you can see, give us 1 second to see if I can hop in right now. Coach Dabo, Whitney Sullivan, I am a Clemson graduate. It would be an honor if you would let me interview you for our TV station. Is that okay?
I think she's making me go to the
Let's
governor.
walk and talk. Let's walk and talk. Okay, so tell me.
Vegan soul food. Yes. These are two words that people typically don't put together, but you have blended them together flawlessly. How did that happen? For a second, I was thinking, okay, well, maybe I need to relax or straighten my hair in order to be professional. But let me tell you something. If you're wearing your natural hair, let me speak a little life into you. You are fearfully and wonderfully made from the bottom of your toes to the top of your hair. And there is nothing unprofessional or distracting about your natural hair. And I will stand by that all day, every day. Okay, Miss Williams. Now, she posted a video on her Instagram writing, what a better way to release all of the anxiety, doubts, and fears of the school year than to dance and turn up. Well, we know educators in the Midlands are getting just as creative, so let us know about the fun things that are happening in your classroom to play or not to play. That is the question. Social media has erupted with opinions about what should happen with the college football season. And not only have you reclaimed your own personal power, but you're also helping other women reclaim their power. You're giving voice to the voiceless. Why is that so important for you? The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, 20 electoral votes up for grabs. President Trump has got to win this if he wants to stay in this race. And so what we are seeing is that he is still in the lead. That hasn't changed. What has changed is the margin by which he is leading. A lot of times when people pass away from cancer, you hear the term, they lost their battle. And I really want us to throw that terminology away. I want to read this quote from Stuart Scott. It says, when you die, it does not mean that you lose to cancer. You beat cancer by how you live, why you live, and the manner in which you live. And the reality of the situation is he lived such a inspirational, dynamic
such a
life.
Big life for 43 years.
Right. I don't want to hear he lost his battle to cancer because that's not the way that his life looked.
Everybody's just been encouraging me because this is kind of stressful. This is a big job.
It is.
Okay, your players on the field. You know, our fans are important, and then the person who's at the grill, they have a lot of responsibility at the tailgate. So make sure you show them love, you support. If one of them falls between the little things right here, tell them it's okay and that you love them anyway, and that we can get another one. You know,
it's okay, Whitney.
Thank you, JR.
It'll just help flame and leave the grill hot.
Okay, now, okay, before we end things, or check out my flip swag. You ready?
Here's the flip. Oh, it went down. Oh, there goes another burger. Burger down. Burger down. Burger down.
You saw it live on TV. The flip. And
mixed emotions for Tiger Nation as Clemson defensive coordinator Brent Venables has officially announced he is Oklahoma's 23rd head football coach. I mean, we're happy for him because he's amazing, but man, why you gotta go? An update this evening about a deadly hunting accident in Colleton County. Authorities say a man who shot and killed a father and daughter while deer hunting in South Carolina has been arrested. 20 years after the September 11th terror attacks, tens of thousands of first responders and survivors and their families are still coping with the lasting impacts on their mental health. I am so against all of these remakes. One, because there are plenty of creative, talented playwrights and writers out there for us to come up with some new original content. But two, why are we messing with the classics?
This is one that should be untouchable. Like Brandon said, like Casablanca.
Don't do this.
Is like, this should be filed in the no-fly zone. Don't go near this one. It was perfect. Don't try to redo it.
Who has a voice like Whitney now? You know what I'm saying? Who can act like Whitney, sing like Whitney, give what needs to be given like Whitney?
You're giving Whitney a lot of glory here. She was the best actress now.
She did what needed to be done in this film. Don't do Whitney like that.
Jennifer Hudson, I bet.
And we move on. I think women sometimes.
I'm wondering, did this survey say that men are more likely to not tell the truth about their feelings?
Oh!
Did I miss that?
Oh.
Let me open this up because I just. All right, now they were getting it. I want to do a little two-step too. Dancing for a good cause. I love that so much. Well, in Gaston yesterday, the smell of Southern cooking filled the air during the Collard and Barbecue Festival. Well, just in case someone hasn't told you, happy Friday. We have made it to the weekend. That's really good news if you had a long week. Now, whether you plan to spend it with family, friends, or if you just want a little me time, there's nothing wrong with that. News 19 is here with a look at some fun things to do this weekend around the Midlands. I still can't believe y'all are tripping about the hog maws.
Look, I'm just a country boy. We just have turkey, ham, mac and cheese.
But I feel like that is country. I feel like, okay, so I'm not eating chitlins. We not going there, okay? I'm not going to eat the chitlins, but the hog maws are good.
Hog maws. All right, I'm going to have to ask my daddy and them about that.
I'll bring a
never
plate.
heard of it.
I'll bring a plate. It takes a lot of cleaning and a lot of work, so shout out to my mama.
And you put the hog maws over rice?
Yeah, we put them over some white rice with some hot sauce. What? Oh.
She's a country girl.
Yeah, and proud of it.
She is a country girl.
Your legacy and your influence comes out in your character, not in your line of work.
You might say they were looking for a seat at society's table. Where they found none, each created a space for themselves. As we introduce you to these trailblazers, our intent is to spark conversation that leads to greater understanding of why inclusion is necessary and representation matters.
We can't really amplify that diversity unless all the voices are at the table.
This is a seat at the table.
All rise.
So at the bond hearing of Dylan Roof, when I was present, the judge said everybody would have a chance to address him in that moment. I told it was me and my dad and my brother. I was like, we're not saying anything. We don't have anything to say. We don't have anything good to say anyway. So that was my original, mindset going in there. And I'm a person of faith. And I remember Miss Nadine Collier. She stood up. She was in such physical pain. She lost her mother at the Lance. Family members had to help her to stand up, to even walk to the podium. The first words she uttered were, "We forgive you." And I was so humbled. Like, I felt this big in that moment, not because of anything else going on, but that she had, with the lack of physical strength, that she had enough emotional strength to get up and do something that nobody saw coming.
I just want everybody to know, to you, I forgive you. You took something very precious away from me. I would never talk to her ever again. I would never be able to hold her again. But I forgive you. And have mercy on your soul.
In that moment, it was a true testament to the kind of people we lost that day. Like, these were the kind of people who raised people who could, in their darkest moments, still exude strength. And I was just amazed by that, to the point where when my family was offered the turn to speak, I said to Dylan Roof, I said, although my grandfather died at the hands of hate, he lived in love and he preached love, and his legacy will be love, so hate won't win.
Your name, ma'am?
Alana Simmons.
Thank you, Ms. Simmons, for being here. Your statement, please.
Although my grandfather and the other victims died at the hands of hate, this is proof. Everyone's plea for your soul is proof that they lived in love and their legacies will live in love. So hate won't win. And I just want to thank the courts for making sure that hate doesn't win.
Everything that we do out of either love or fear. For me, the choice to forgive was motivated out of the fear of descending into what he was, and then out of the love of Christ. It's not a forgive and forget situation. No, what he did should absolutely be held accountable for and suffer the consequences. That's just that's what I believe. But the way the love of Christ is, God forgives everybody for everything if they ask. Now, he didn't ask, so that's on him. But what I believe is that, for me, I have to make the choice that I'm not going to turn into this. I'm not going to let what he did determine how I operate. I don't want to give anybody that kind of power over me.
13 people. That's who decides the playoff hopes of college football teams across America. It includes several current athletic directors and former coaches and players. Since the 2014 season, the committee ranks the teams based on a number of things, including a team's strength of schedule, record, and towards the end of the season, conference championships. From there, they create a top 25 of their own, which they release every Tuesday during the second half of the season. The top 4 teams at season's end make the playoffs, and the winner of those games battle it out for the national championship. She's affectionately called Mama Lise by friends and family.
Most people say it in such a way that it touches me. Yeah.
Throughout her 105 years, Elise Jones Martin has been called many names, including trailblazer, pioneer, and community advocate. And rightfully so. She spent decades serving the people in Columbia.
I think that's something that was great, and I'm glad I was a part of it.
As you can see, she's not one to brag, so I will. Mama Lise was the first Black woman to open a business on Main Street and went on to run multiple businesses. She volunteered with a number of charities and served on countless boards. According to the city, Mama Lise played a large role in the development and construction of the Drew Wellness Center. On top of all of that, she also served as a Richland County poll worker for over 3 decades.
I always had a nice group of people working with me. Of course, they were younger. That was easy.
Mama Lise's experience at the polls stretches back to the 40s, when she was a teacher at Booker T. Washington High School.
We never had the privilege of voting in the white precincts.
That's because South Carolina was segregated during that time, and Black people were still fighting against voter suppression like Jim Crow laws.
When we got to the door of the voting place, there was a white lady standing there, and she said, "Can you read?"
Mama Lise, along with her fellow teachers, were subjected to a literacy test. They were asked to read the preamble before they were allowed to vote, but that did not stop them.
We decided we wouldn't look at the paper, we'd look around at her and say it, and her color really changed.
She continued to register people to vote and help them through the voting process.
That's the way you make progress in the world. You just can't sit there and let it go by. You got to be a part of it. And in order to be a part of it, you've got to know something about it.
In her mid-90s, Mama Lise finally decided it was time to step down, but changed her mind because Obama was running for president. And when she met then Senator Obama, she had something to tell him.
You're a good man, you got good brains, and you can make it, and don't you stop.
Although now retired and living in California, Mama Lise is still taking an interest in her community.
I like people, and when I'm around people, I think you said that to me. You'd be so sick and then somebody come and you get well. Well, that's the same thing that happens with me with music. People and music I like.